Angela Yee, and back again. We got Scarlett in the building.
What's up, y'all?
It's such a different time than when you sat here for the first time early on when Way Up first started.
Yeah, I was real younger. Mm-hmm. I was new.
Well, look at you now.
Grown woman, you see?
But congratulations, Scar Before Fame is out right now, and it's racking up those numbers. You got a Lil Wayne feature. You got a Mary J. Blige feature. You got an Anthony Hamilton, a Honey Baby, a Skilla Baby. I mean, you got it like that is just an all-star lineup. How does it feel knowing that all these people is on it for you?
I just feel so grateful. That's number one. I'm just very grateful that all of these amazing and talented artists just was able to just bless my tracks like that. It's lit.
It felt like you could have put out a project a project earlier because you've been dropping singles. You've been consistent. So talk to me about timing of this and why it was the perfect time for you to put this out.
I didn't want to rush. I didn't want to just feel like I'm just throwing anything out and just seeing if it sticks. No, I've been working on this project for like 7 years. Before my deal, I've been working on it. Some of the tracks you hear, like Lord Please, that was made like in 2018.
Oh, wow.
But Anthony Hamilton wasn't on it.
I love Anthony Hamilton's voice will make you cry.
Yeah.
And you do got to thank God. And that was a perfect way for you, just even on this album, just thanking God for everything.
Yeah. You got to thank God, man. He's been an amazing and a major part of my life and my come up. So I just had to, sprinkle him on it,
Now, I saw you talking about getting some media training. I got to hear about this because... So break it down for me, for people who are listening, right? Artists don't do media training like they used to. I will say that. There's sometimes that I'm like, man, I didn't feel like that about you necessarily, but I'm interested to see why that happened and how you feel like it helped you.
Media training for like upcoming artists like myself and others is very important. But people may not notice, but I have anxiety when I do like interviews and shit. Like, excuse my language, Seale.
It's okay, be relaxed.
But like people don't notice that, but I do have anxiety because sometimes I always feel like when I'm at an interview, I have to answer the question the best or the perfect way. Like I can't make no mistakes. Like it's like a test. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. So I just didn't want to think like that. And, my media trainer, shout out to her. She's helped me, answer questions and, keep it on point. And not make no mistakes because, I be having a lot of hiccups. I be having a lot of hiccups on the medias. I know y'all be seeing me on social medias going through with my boyfriend, all that stuff. Like, no. We got to keep it to music. You feel what I'm saying?
I do want to say, though, Scarlett, part of why people like you, though, is because they feel like relatable because there's no such thing as no mistakes in life. Yeah. And a lot of us have made and done things that were like, oh, why'd I, but that is also part of like growth because you are still young. And I feel like even for your, for your generation, what is she, Generation Z?
I'm Z.
Okay, Generation
Z. It's some new generation now, but I'm Z.
But Generation Z, I feel like growing up and having so much access and for people being able to see your life, it's going to show mistakes a lot more. As you call them a mistake. I don't call things a mistake,
like hiccups.
Yeah, you hiccuped.
I done had a few hiccups.
So for you, because like you said, you get anxiety when you do interviews. And I know that this is called Scar Before Fame, right? And so now it's a different level of people paying attention to every single move that you make and everything. Like something that you might think is like no big deal ends up going viral.
Like I did a freaking video to my new track, Melanin, and it had bananas in the background. And people thought I was calling black people monkeys.
Oh, I didn't even see people.
I was like, what? What are y'all talking about?
Shouting out all the beautiful melanated people.
I can't do nothing wrong. I can't do nothing right in the media, can I?
I saw there was, I think it was Joe Budden. They were like, she keeps putting stuff in the background in her videos. Like,
you know what? Me and Joe Budden's going to have a talk. I'm going to have to sit down with Joe Budden because, I do understand what he was saying, and I didn't take it, offensive. Like, he was just giving me constructive criticism. But to be honest, y'all knew me from Glizzy's, holding up hot dogs and rapping in using the hot dog as a microphone. So it's like, come on now. I'm just being creative. I'm in my element. I'm not thinking too much on I feel like a lot of artists, they want to look like they're look perfect and look like they made it and look like I'm just who I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I create. And I get how it could look on the outside, but I'm just being myself.
Now, what's the balance for you as far as, because I remember there was also a time when you, being sexy Scarlett too. And sometimes people feel like, why are they making her do that? Like someone's making you be sexy, but that's also you doing that for yourself.
Yeah. No one's making me do nothing like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to look sexy. I want to look sexy. I want to look like a tomboy. I want to look a tomboy. I'm a woman. I have the freedom to do whatever I want. So when y'all see me in the bathing suit, maybe it's because I'm at the fucking pool or I'm at the beach. Like, what do y'all want me to just wear Timbs and big North Face jackets all summer?
Yes, they do. No,
it's crazy.
But I guess also when we were introduced to you, it was like, people feel very protective over you too. Yeah. Just because we know you from your poetry and we know a lot of your story, which sometimes with artists, we don't know that. And so I do feel there's a different connection when it comes to you. Yeah. And so sometimes people are like, oh, that's our, but we got to let you like blossom and grow up and become the confident woman that you become. You know,
I do appreciate that part, of my fan base and stuff like that. But I'm growing into a woman, and I'm not the 16-year-old Scar no more. So they're learning to accept that. But I'm not out here just on a corner just
no, you're not
coochie popping. Like, come on, y'all.
I think it's also diverse, right? Like sometimes you are the girl in the Timbs, and sometimes you are the girl in the bikini.
Yeah, I like to call it like a DMX/Aaliyah style.
Yeah, every woman.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about this song "Runaway Love." When I tell you that was the writing on that, the storytelling on that was phenomenal. So when did you write that? And then getting Mary J. Blige on there was just the icing on the cake. And obviously this is also a play off of the Ludacris track as well. So talk to me about that.
So I wanted to just say first, shout out to Mary J. Blige and Ludacris just for allowing me to jump on a classic like this. That Runaway Love record really spoke to me when I was a little girl going through what I was going through. And I felt like Mary was talking to me. So I wanted to make somebody else feel like that as well. Like when they hear this new remake of Runaway Love, they feel like, they're not alone and like I'm talking to them. And like it just inspired me and it was so powerful. It was a freestyle. And I was on my way to shoot the video because I was doing a lot of freestyles. And I sent it to Swizz. I was on my way. I said, yo, Swizz, I'm about to shoot this right now. I'm on my way. He said, stop the car, turn around, and re-record it. It's going on the album, on the mixtape. I was like, what? But I already paid the cameraman. He was like, turn the car around. You putting this on the mixtape. This is too hard. And yeah, so thank you again to Mary J. Blige. She came to the music video shoot. And she's just like, she's like a big sister or like an aunt, or auntie, like, she don't like that. Don't do that. Oh, sorry.
You know how some of us be like.
She's just a homegirl that I really relate to. My bad, Mary. My bad.
But that was, honestly, like people reacted to that so strongly, and I just see like that. It's like a mini movie because it's not too many artists nowadays that are telling stories so vividly the way that you did.
Right.
And so is this something that's like a real, or is this something that Scarlett like just came up with like a fictional story, or is this based off of anything?
So the Runaway Love track is a mixture of my story and just stories put together. So like Lisa, that was just a story of like just other people's lives that I either seen on movies or maybe had a friend that was going through something like domestic violence. I see that a lot. Suicide awareness, all of those things. So I just really wanted to do like what Ludacris did in The Runaway Love when he was just highlighting different stories of people's lives as like, traumatic events. So I just wanted to do that. But the Jasmine story, it was my story. It was a mixture of my story as well.
I think, like I said, the people relate to you so well. Another thing about you that had people up in arms was the scar. They were like, you had said that you were going to get rid of the scar on your lip, and people were like, no, don't do it. Then you said you were. It feels like you...
Listen, I love the scar on my lip. I love the scar on my lip. But sometimes I have, like, battles with myself, like, I'm gonna just get rid of it and just start fresh, start new. I don't need the scar no more. But then I just remember, like, when I have the scar like on my lip, it just reminds me how strong I am, what I came through. And it's not like me looking at the scar and seeing the bad side no more. I'm seeing the victory now every time I look in the mirror and look at my scar. And I'm like, I can't get rid of this. This is like what made me like who I am today. So I'm keeping it.
See, but I do want to say at the end of the day, you do whatever you want for yourself. I remember when Cardi B first came out and she was like, I'm not fixing my teeth. Like,
oh my gosh.
And then she fixed her teeth. Shout out to Cardi for that. But yeah, so you might change your mind again and decide to do it. But at the end of the day, whatever Scarlett wants to do is,
what I want to do, and I got the freedom to do it. And
Nas fixed his chipped tooth. We thought he was never Nas when he had his he used to talk about his chipped tooth, and then he went and fixed his chip. You never know what it is that you decide to do. Now, as far as so you did this media training, so no more talking about relationships and boyfriends,
unless it's in music. Unless it's in music, and I got a track right now that highlights my relationship. It's called Eastside featuring Honey Baby.
Oh, Honey Baby. Shout out to her. Yes.
I like her.
Yeah, no, she is so small with such a big voice too. And her
and Lola is like this.
Yeah. Okay, so just in the music. So then what happens now when we hear Eastside and then we're like, so, this.
I confirmed it yes, he said meet me on the east side. I'm with him on the east side right now.
Is it hard for you to feel like you could really trust somebody as far as being in a relationship? Because you are Scarlett now. So it's like if somebody's trying to holler at you.
See, now, Angela, when I date men, I have to watch out. Is he dating me for clout? Is he dating me for money? Is he dating me to just get famous? Or do he really care about me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I already have a hard time trusting men because of my past. So I really gotta evaluate you. Is you really here for me? Do you really care about me? Do you really see me outside of the clout and the fame and music? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that just be I'll be having hiccups.
Only time, hiccups. Only time will tell though, because how do you really know? Somebody could seem super genuine.
I feel like you gotta date. Oh man, I don't want to say this.
Say it.
So some people listen. Shout out to my man, because I love him. I love you, baby. But some people say oh, you gotta date if you're a rapper, you gotta date a rapper, or if you you gotta date a person that's a lawyer or of your caliber, so y'all both got the same type. So you know what I'm saying? Y'all got the same type of money or fame and stuff like that.
So
I don't know.
Is he your caliber or?
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because one of my friends told me, I wish I had money so I could date whoever I like. Which is a whole different way to look at it, right? Because when sometimes women are dating for survival. Right. And then sometimes you're dating because you could really be in a position to say, I really like this person. It don't matter what they have. And it's just two different ways because she really made me think about it, because... But then there's times when you date somebody who ain't got it and you're
it's hard.
And then you're I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, no, because everybody say that. They be oh, I hear girls all the time. They be oh, if I'm going to date a man, he got to have more money than me. Mm-hmm. And some men don't like women having more money than them. Right. Because they want to be dominant.
Sometimes you also don't know how much money somebody has because anybody can tell you anything.
Yeah.
People, listen, Scarlett, and I want to say, the position that you're in, people are thinking right now, look at Scarlett, she rich. And
hold up now.
Yeah, look.
Hold up, girl.
You're hold on.
Don't believe Google.
Yeah, let's see what this net worth looking like.
Don't believe net worths.
But that's also dangerous too, because you never want people to feel because everyone will be asking you for stuff. How is that for you now too?
I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I'm not gonna say no names, right? But I got this family member right now. So when I first got signed, every week I would send this person $1,000, $500, $2,000 every time, right? One thing is, I don't like people that use God as an excuse to get money or to be oh, pay your tithes or pay this. And it's when you tell a person yes over and over and one time you say no, ooh, they forget everything you've done for them. And this person I see as everything, my everything. And I'm going through this right now. They didn't even text me and say, congratulations on your album. Nothing. Congratulations on the song with Lil Wayne. Congratulations on this body of work. Nothing. They don't give a fuck because I won't give them no money.
See, and I agree with you on that. I've been through that a lot. Where you could do everything for somebody and the one time you don't do it, then all of a sudden it's a problem.
Yeah, and I told another person, I said, start a business and I'll fund your business. Stop calling me every day for money.
Right.
Start a business, I'll fund it, or I'll pay for you to go to school.
And
nothing. They call me still asking
that's
for
accountability
money.
on their part then, right? If somebody's like, oh, give me some, you're like, okay, look, I'll do it, but I need you to do X, Y, and Z, or you need to like let me know how you can make money yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And that inspired the song Lord Please. Like that song is like, Lord Please, like be patient with me, like, cause I don't know, like people acting crazy, like Lord just give me grace to just get through this season. Like that's why that inspired Lord Please.
Do you have an accountant?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, one good thing
she
to
be
do,
on my heels. She be like, you ain't going to be sending out this money every time. You got to hold up.
You got to blame the accountant. You got to be like, look, I'm on a budget.
Right.
And because also I think it's dangerous to let people know what you have. That's why I'm like, sometimes people don't need to think that you're rich. Like, you know, and you got to be investing in yourself. That's one thing I learned. People always ask me, what do I wish I would have did differently? And I'm like, I wish I would have started like saving, investing, buying, you know, real estate earlier.
I do wish that I would have. I'm okay, but I do wish like starting and getting signed, I didn't just freeload send people money. And also calm down on that DoorDash, because that DoorDash, you be $50,000. You be like, hold up, where the $50,000 go? It went to DoorDash.
You're right about that. I know I use mine. Now, you brought up Lil Wayne just now. You opened up the album with a banger with you and Lil Wayne on it, Pop That. Talk to me about how this Lil Wayne feature happened.
Pop That, okay, so the Pop That record y'all hear right now sounds nothing like the first Pop That version. It was like some freaky Pop That. Swizz was like, nah, we don't want to go that route. Let's go to, you know, when he says something, I'm just like, okay, let's do it. He said, we gotta go this route. We gotta do it like this. It was so like, it wasn't easy to make Pop That. Like, Swizz had to like bring me in the studio and sit me down and be like, I'm not leaving till you finish this record. And it's mad pressure. Like, he's a good person. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's amazing to work with. But it'd be pressure sometimes, like in the studio with Swizz, because it's like, damn, I got to do my best. I got to make the best verses. I got to, you know what I'm saying? But I finished it. And then, you know, like, probably like, I would say a week later, I'm driving, right? Just driving because I like to drive. I get a call from Swizz. Swizz like, yo, check out what I just sent you. I'm like, what? He said, check out what I just sent you. I check it. I play it, right? I'm like, okay, this is the record. Pop That. Damn. It get quiet. And then I hear the lighter flick. And you know what that mean when the lighter flick. And then I heard Wayne verse. I almost crashed the car. We almost crashed. We went crazy. We was like, yo, this is crazy.
That's amazing to have. Swizz is like your fairy godfather.
He is, yo. I'm telling you, like, in real life, like, he changed my life so much. I really just appreciate him.
And he is for sure in your corner at all times. All right, now I want to ask you also about Skilla Baby on the album.
Yes.
And how that happened. Could have been me, you know, Detroit's finest.
That record was 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I want to say,
you really had this in the stash for a minute, but it sounds quite current.
2 years ago, yeah, but I'm a big supporter of him. Like, I remember, like, when we both started blowing up, like, at the early stages of our career, we did an interview. Like, we was in the same building, and he was doing an interview with a person that I was about to do an interview with. And I've always supported him. And, like, I just want to say, like, God bless him. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I see he recovered. And the whole team is just praying for him. Like, we just happy he's good. But I'm just very grateful that he did this track because it was fire. It was fire.
Now, I got to ask you, what was on the Pop That originally that Swizz was like, hell no.
So this is, don't judge me, but the Pop That y'all hear right now went like this. Let me pop the Zucci, daddy. Let me pop the Zucci. Let me pop the Zucci, daddy. Let me. And then I was like, Swizz was like, hold up. This ain't what we doing. She's Hot was already like.
Rein it back in.
Let's stay away from She's Hot right now.
How did he feel about that?
All right. So the record She's Hot, he told me, because I posted a video, right?
Yep, I remember.
And it wasn't appropriate, right? He was like, Scar, take that down. I was
so
like,
you did that without, he didn't even see it before until you posted it? Okay.
I said, I'm leaving up.
You went rogue.
I went rogue. And I left it up. And I shouldn't have did that.
You think so?
Yeah, because my fans really, like, everybody, like, responded the opposite is what I thought they was going to respond to. So I was like, shit, I should have listened.
So you do feel like people have a certain expectation of you, and you hold yourself to that standard.
I do have to, especially if I want to like make it in this like music. Like I do gotta like stay like in the lane of my brand, because your brand is important, and I know that now. And I'm like, okay, so this is my brand. This is what I have to like stay in the realm of, like keep it like this. You know what I'm saying?
What's been the hardest part for you of all of this?
The hardest part of all of this would have to be like, I gotta keep some things off social media.
Okay.
I feel like I gotta keep certain things on social media. Everybody don't need to know if I'm kicking out a nigga or just some bad shit like that. Nobody needs to know that. So I just gotta keep that off. I gotta keep it strictly music. Right. And that's what my media trainer be telling me, like, keep it focused on your music. You know what I'm saying?
I get that and all, but I also feel like, you know, we like a little snippets, a little peeks into what's going on in Scarlett's life, because that's also how people relate to the music. If they know a little something about you. Yeah. You know? So, well, listen, Scarlett, congratulations on this. Does this mean there's a full-length project on the way? Because I know this was a long time in the making. How was your patience as far as waiting for this to be able to come out? Because like you said, you know, you've had Could Have Been Me for 2 years.
I wasn't ready to drop a tape yet.
Oh.
So I didn't want to drop the tape. My team, like, you know, they understood. They wanted me to drop, but we all was in agreement. Like, we wanted to, like, really be, like, we was missing Runaway Love. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And when we made Runaway Love, that's what we was like, all right, now it's starting to feel complete. Like, this album is starting to feel complete. Like, it got my life, it got my poetry, it got my love, it got the New York energy, the drill scene. Like, it just has all of that. And that's when we felt like, now it's time. And my fans, you know, they was tuned into the freestyles every week. Every week, let me tell y'all something which I don't know. I had to work to be able to drop this. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I was freestyling for probably, I had to do like 50 freestyles until this tape was able to be dropped.
Now that's a boot camp there, right there for you. You know, one thing about you also that I think is amazing is the spirit of giving back that you always have. Yeah. You know, giving back in your community. And one of the biggest moments from Angela Yee Day when you came and performed was even just you backstage, you know, showing love. Like there was somebody there who was a huge fan of yours. And it was just beautiful to see, because I know a lot of that is you knowing where you came from and what you've had to go through. And I could feel that, like, that makes you feel like, you know, just that connection to want to give back and be that person.
Yeah, and I do like these give backs, like for holidays, you know, Thanksgiving, hair days for the community in the Bronx, like all types of stuff, because I know how it feels like to not have nothing, like, you know, me, like not having nothing, not having like people to celebrate with and stuff. So I just like celebrate with the people because I'm just like them. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel how y'all feel, you know? And if I have the power and the ability to change it and make somebody's day better, why not?
Do you ever sit back and say, I can't believe this is my life now?
I did say that the other day. Like I see myself on the news. I think it was ABC News. Yeah, ABC News. And I said, wow. Like, I remember, like, on TikTok sharing my story, and now I'm on the news sharing my story. I said, this is crazy.
Yeah. Isn't life amazing?
It is amazing.
All right. Well, so many blessings to you. Scarred Before Fame is out right now. People have amazing things to say about it. It's got so much energy, a lot of range. I love how all 7 songs are so different from each other. Yeah. You know, so congratulations to you. You know I'm always in your corner cheering for you and rooting you on. So I cannot wait to see what's next.
Thank you,
From my
Angela.
girl, Scarlett.